It's 2:00 and I'll call the meeting to order, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, extend a warm welcome to all of you who are joining us in person or virtually for the June 17th, 2026 last public board meeting of the 2025-2026 school year. Hard to believe because it seems like I just finished saying welcome to the first public board meeting of the year. As is customary, we're pleased to acknowledge our Chief Superintendent, our Senior Administration, our Senior Leadership Administration, I should say, and of course our staff. We are also very welcome today to be welcoming some very special guests, including our very own Amber Nicholson, now this is a mouthful, ATA Council for School Leadership Distinguished Leadership Award and Canadian Association of Principals Vice Principal of the Year. Woof! I think that's the longest one I've ever read this year so far. Now, I do also want to add that she's also our ATA Local 54 president, and I'm going to say a little bit about that in a little bit, but to support Amber is quite the entourage that we have today. And so we have joining her Gosha Berenger, principal of St. Brendan, Suzanne Rosicki, assistant principal at St. Brendan, Cheryl Nicholson, Amber's sister, Terry Bishler, Cheryl's husband and Amber's brother-in-law, Christopher, Amber's nephew, Roger St. Jacques, Amber's husband. Sending her regrets is, and I'm going to say this because she was supposed to be here, Sharon Nicholson, Amber's mom, and her brother, who we hear has quite the competition going on with Amber. So we have to make her look really, really good. Okay, got that, everyone? Welcome to each and every one of you to our Lumen Christi family. We're so honored to have you all. Now, I must say that this is the last public board meeting of the 2025-26 school year, and that Amber does get the gold star for bringing a remarkable fanfare of supporters, which only confirms, Amber, how amazing you are, and the fact that we have already alluded to your brother. I know that you've shared that he's at a conference, but is he really at a conference? Or could he not really compete with you today? I'm not sure. We'll leave it to the both of you to decide, but all joking aside, we always have so much to celebrate, recognizing that our staff, our students are our greatest strength, and that our community partners are valued contributors to our division and, of course, to Catholic education. It's a gift. It's a gift that we all embrace, and one that allows us to live our mission with clarity and hope, ensuring that all students are, ensuring that we provide success to all of our students, and that their well-being remains at our top priority. And on the note of excellence, and as a community of faith, it gives us great pride and joy to call upon our division chaplain, Father Julian, to please lead us in our opening prayer. Father Julian.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair Palazzo, Trustees, Chief Superintendent Anderson, brothers and sisters in Christ. Let us begin with God's great sign of love for all of us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. The Lord be with you.
With your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "When you are praying, do not heap up empty phrases as the Gentiles do, for they think that they will be heard because of their many words. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. Pray then in this way: Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And do not bring us to the time of trial, but rescue us from the evil one. For if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses." The Gospel of the Lord. Brothers and sisters, in today's Gospel, Jesus teaches us the prayer, Our Father, the one that he taught his disciples and through them all of us. At the heart of this prayer is a reminder that God is our loving Father and that we are all members of one family. As trustees of Edmonton Catholic Schools, your work helps make God's kingdom visible in our schools. Through your leadership and decisions, you support environments where students can grow not only in knowledge, but also in faith, in service, and in character. As this school year ends, there is much for which to give thanks for. We thank God for the students whose lives have been shaped and formed. We thank Him for the teachers and administration and all our staff who have served with dedication. And we thank Him for you, our trustees, who have accepted that responsibility of guiding Catholic education with faith and commitment. May the words of this prayer, Our Father, continue to guide your service. May every decision you make be rooted in the desire to glorify God, build His kingdom, care for His children, and foster unity within the Catholic school community. As we enter the summer months, may the Lord grant you rest, renewal, and the wisdom to continue serving His people with generosity, love, and joy. The response for the following intentions is, Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear.
For Catholic education, that our Catholic schools may reveal the glory of God in all that they do, we pray to the Lord. For Catholic education, that our Catholic schools may continue to nurture relationships of faith, hope, and joy, and peace among students, parents, and teachers, we pray to the Lord. That all our teachers, staff, and administrators and trustees in Edmonton Catholic schools may be strengthened for their important task in our world and be blessed with God's abundant mercy, we pray to the Lord. For all of us, as we enter the summer months, that the Lord may grant us rest and renewal and fill our hearts with the wisdom and grace to continue serving His people with generosity, love, and joy. Let us pray to the Lord. Grant, we pray, Almighty God, that receiving the grace by which you bring us to new life, we may always glory in your gift, through Christ our Lord. The Lord be with you. And may the blessing of the Lord be upon you with His grace and love for all of us. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much, Father Julian, for your beautiful prayer and reflection, reminding us that we are truly one family. And of course, we are so thankful for you, for your continued guidance, your inspirational faith leadership, and for being a champion of hope to Edmonton Catholic schools. And we also pray that you are able to enjoy a well-deserved and rejuvenating summer. And so at this time, we'll move on to 1.2, and we're proud to honor June as National Indigenous History Month. And we'll call on our very own Vice Chair Turchansky to please read today's land acknowledgement. Or I should say, share today's land acknowledgement. And I've put her in queue.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'd like to acknowledge that we are gathered on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional and ancestral lands of the First Nations and Métis peoples. We honor the many Indigenous nations who have called this place home, including the Cree, Dene, Saulteaux, Nakota Sioux, Blackfoot, and Métis. We are grateful for their enduring presence, their stewardship of the land, and the rich cultures, languages, traditions, and teachings they continue to share with us here at Edmonton Catholic Schools. As we gather during National Indigenous History Month, we take a moment to recognize and celebrate the contributions, resilience, and wisdom of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. June is an opportunity to learn, to reflect, and to deepen our understanding of the histories and relationships that have shaped our country and continue to shape our communities today. A land acknowledgement is more than just words before a meeting or a gathering. It is a reminder of our connection to the past, to one another, and to the earth that sustains us all. The land beneath our feet, the water that gives life, the trees that shelter us, and the skies above us are gifts that connect generations. Indigenous teachings have long reminded us that we are caretakers, not owners, and that we have a responsibility to treat the earth with gratitude, respect, and humility. As summer approaches and the natural world is full in bloom, we are reminded of the beauty and abundance that surrounds us and of our shared responsibilities to care for it. May we honor the original caretakers of this land, not only with our words, but through our actions, by building relationships, listening with open hearts, and continuing the journey of reconciliation together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair Turchansky, for sharing your beautiful personal acknowledgement. Hi. Next on the agenda is 1.3, roll call, and we'll note for the record that all trustees are present with 6 in person and Trustee Engel joining us virtually. We will now proceed to 1.4, approval of the agenda, and require a motion to approve today's agenda as circulated. And I do see Trustee Mutala in queue. Go ahead, please, Trustee Mutala.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the agenda of today's meeting, June 17th, 2026, to approve it.
Thank you very much. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
No, thank you.
Thank you. And seeing no one else in queue, I'll call the vote. And yes, thank you. Thank you very much. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record that as the motion to approve today's agenda as circulated, it has been approved. Consent items 1.4.1.1, locally developed courses, 1.4.1.2, delegation of authority for summer months 2026, 1.4.1.3, emergency executive succession plan 2026 to 2027, and all recommendations contained therein have also been approved. And we will now move on to approval of the minutes 1.5.1, and once again require a motion to approve the minutes of our regular board meeting of May 26, 2026. And I do recognize Trustee Tiber in queue. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting, May 2026.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Trustee Tiber. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
No, I do not.
Thank you. And once again, seeing no one else in queue, we will proceed to call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note once again for the record that the motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of May 26, 2026 is carried. And as there are no matters arising from the minutes, we'll move on to 1.6, today's award recognition. Here we go again. ATA Council for Leadership Distinguished Leadership Award and Canadian Association of Principals. I don't know who's having more fun here. Vice Principal of the Year, Amber Nicholson. And we'll turn it over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson, to do the honors.
Thank you very much. And so we are very blessed and honored to recognize Amber Nicholson today. The Canadian Association of Principals annually names one Canadian vice principal as their Distinguished Vice Principal of the Year. Amber's reception of this award is the second stage of her noteworthy leadership activities. She was named as a recipient of the Alberta Teachers Association Council for School Leadership Distinguished Leadership Award this year, as nominated by a colleague and her principal. The Council for School Leadership then advanced her nomination nationally. And I just want to read an excerpt from her nomination. Amber Nicholson is a respected educational leader whose work reflects an unwavering commitment to students, educators, and the long-term strength of public education. As president of Edmonton Catholic Teachers Local 54, Amber leads with integrity, transparency, and moral clarity, earning the trust of educators across a wide range of roles, experiences, and perspectives. Grounded in strong instructional background that includes experience as a classroom teacher, learning coach, and assistant principal, Amber brings a deep understanding of pedagogy and student needs to her system-level leadership. She approaches decision-making through evidence-informed practice, informed by her recent completion of a Master's of Education. This commitment to professional learning is evident in her thoughtful stewardship of organizational resources, including initiatives designed to support member well-being during times of disruption. Through principled action and service-oriented leadership, Amber exemplifies the values and competencies of exemplary educational leadership in Alberta. And I just, on an aside, I do want to share, Amber and I worked together, and I can attest to everything that was mentioned in this short excerpt. And what I really admired about Amber was her dedication and her commitment to students. And there was never a question. It was always student first, and she just had a skill to make people feel heard and valued and supported. So I just really want to congratulate you, Amber, on this really distinguished and well-deserved award. And so the recommendation is that the Board of Trustees recognizes and celebrates Amber Nicholson for receiving the Alberta Teachers Association Council for School Leadership Distinguished Leadership Award and the Canadian Association of Principals Distinguished Vice Principal of the Year Award. There we go.
Thank you so much, Chief Superintendent Anderson. Wow, I wish your brother was here. This is extraordinary, honestly, and we're so humbled and honored to celebrate you today, Amber. And while this isn't your first time in this boardroom, from the time you were elected as ATA president, you have attended many public board meetings, which speaks volumes to your unwavering support of Edmonton Catholic schools. And so it comes as no surprise that you were nominated by both a colleague and your principal who recognized your exceptional leadership. But to be selected and recognized at the national level, that's another accomplishment of the highest order, one that we take extreme pride in celebrating. Your nomination, Amber, speaks to the qualities that define your leadership. And don't cry, because you're going to make me cry. And you're going to make her cry, because she cries at everything. Integrity, transparency, and moral clarity. Qualities that have earned the trust and respect of educators and of this board. And Amber, as a former educator and administrator, those words resonate deeply with me. Your steady leadership, wisdom, and your remarkable gifts have helped shape a culture of excellence that contributes to our division being recognized as one of Alberta's top employers for the 11th year in a row, something that we take extreme pride in. And we applaud you not only for this recognition, but for the way that you have led our staff, our teachers through a challenging year. But you've led them with dignity and with professionalism and with unwavering integrity. To say that your servant leadership has made a difference in the lives of students and staff would be an understatement. What stands out most is not only your passion for public education, but your authenticity, your sincerity, and genuine belief in the limitless potential in our profession. You exemplify the belief that great leadership empowers others to achieve great things. And as I'd like to reiterate, as a former educator, you make me proud to be a teacher. Listening to all that you have accomplished reminds me of the educators and leaders that I looked to as mentors and role models throughout my career. And that is exactly what you are, Amber, an exemplary mentor, role model, and leader who brings out the best in others and enriches the lives of students and staff every day. We commend you. We commend you for embodying excellence, for empowering others, and for strengthening public education in Alberta. Your dedication and service exemplify the very best of educational leadership, and we're proud to celebrate that today. And on a lighter note, I must admit that if I wish I could be a fly on the wall to witness the ongoing competition that's going to go on between you and your brother, but I'm going to leave it to the two of you to decide how to do that. But we just want to say publicly that you truly are one of Edmonton Catholic's best. Thank you. Now, congratulations once again on this prestigious, well-deserved award. But I know that my screen is lighting up, so now you're going to have to hear that, many times over. So first in queue is Vice Chair Tuchansky. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Now, you cried for her. You better cry for me. So, as if being recognized provincially for your outstanding leadership was not enough, you have now been named the Canadian Association of Principals Distinguished Vice Principal of the Year. I wanted to say it too, although I'm not surprised. What an extraordinary accomplishment, and what a fitting recognition for someone who gives so much to others. You are a strong and unwavering voice for educators, students, and families. You have the rare ability to advocate fiercely while remaining thoughtful, practical, and deeply compassionate. Whether you're serving your school community, representing educators through your union leadership, or supporting system-wide initiatives, you lead with integrity, humility, and a genuine desire to make things better for others. What inspires me most, however, is that your leadership does not stop at the walls of your school or even at the borders of our country. Your work in Burundi is nothing short of extraordinary. The generosity, selflessness, and commitment you've shown in helping create opportunities and improve lives half a world away is truly remarkable. You are making such a profound difference. Somehow, you manage to represent colleagues with strength and practicality while still serving students, families, and your community with equal grace and generosity. That balance is rare, and it's what makes you such an exceptional leader. Thank you very much for being so extraordinary. You are a gift to our division, to our staff, students, and our families, and we are so grateful for what you do every single day. Thank you.
Okay, well, if you didn't make her cry, you made me cry.
That's all that matters.
Next in queue is Trustee Mutala.
Well, you know what? Thank you to Chair and Vice Chair for all the wonderful words. So there's not much left to say, but I'm just going to say from the bottom of my heart, Amber, congratulations on winning this well-deserved award because of all your hard work and dedication in your school community, but as well with all your hard work as president of the ATA local. Thanks for everything you do. And it's been my pleasure to work with you at St. Brendan's School because I've gotten to know you quite well, so that's good. Another thing is, thank you for your dedication, hard work, and leading with integrity. But also, congratulations on completing your master's in education. And I don't know when you had time to do this, but congratulations. And we are very proud of you. And I just want to say thank you for everything you do.
Thank you very much, Trustee Mutala. Next in queue is Trustee Tiber. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'm going to not cry, I can promise you that. So first of all, this is so cool, and this is so amazing. Being named the best principal in Canada this year. It's not Edmonton, it's not Alberta, it's Canada. So for that, it is so amazing. And I really hope there's a really cool banquet that you can attend on behalf of the Canadian Association of Principals. I know they generally go all out, and they're quite fun, so I hope that it's really, really big. And for me, what stands out is it's that your peers and your principal recognized you first. And it's an award where people who work beside you every day decide that you were worth this nomination. And that tells you everything. And I mean, I had the honor of meeting you about 15 years ago when you were at St. Richard's, even back then. And you led with integrity, and you brought deep understanding of what the students actually need in the classroom, and it was all grounded in service. I remember sitting in the gym on stage while your grade 6 class was there, and I was trying to present what a trustee does. And you just brought everybody together, and you had such a good understanding of everything that was happening. So for that, again, congratulations, and I mean, it's going to be great.
Thank you very much, Trustee Tiber. Now, I want you to know that Trustee Engel isn't even here, but I see her in queue. So I'm going to turn it over to her, so you're going to hear her voice. Go ahead, please, Trustee Engel.
I think you put me on.
Oh, I think she's out of queue.
Yeah. Put Leah in, and then we'll...
No, we've got her on the board. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, it just
Leah, take yours off.
Go ahead, Trustee Engel.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to just try and be really quiet this meeting because I'm not even there. But I have to say something about Amber because she is just that plain fantastic. Amber, I just want to say you are a bright, shining star and a true one-of-a-kind gem. Whether serving as vice principal or leading your ATA local, your dedication, leadership, and care for others makes a lasting difference. Congratulations on this well-deserved Distinguished Leadership Award. And if you ever decide to run for anything even bigger in a leadership role, I know many of us would be lined up to happily vote for you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Engel. Yeah, you know what? You can always be a trustee. Right? Thank you very much, Trustee Engel. Beautiful words. Next in queue is Trustee Fiorillo. Go ahead, please.
Thanks, Madam Chair. I just wanted to say, I don't often involve in these congratulations because I never know what to say, but I just have to say to you, you have the most genuine warmth about you and the kindest smile. And I have to say, whenever I see you in a crowd, it always puts me at ease because you're just such a wonderful presence. So I want to say thank you so much for being who you are and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Trustee Fiorillo. She just stole my closing line. Yeah. No, actually, that was beautifully said. She's absolutely right. I think in addition to the brilliance and the integrity and everything that has been said about you today, it's your amazing smile that really, really resonates with us all. And you always make everyone feel so special. Never lose that gift. It's one of the most powerful. So that being said, there is no one else in queue, and I'm honored to acknowledge you once again, Amber, and of course to applaud you for the meaningful difference that you are making in our province and for the legacy that you're creating. And I am honored to read the recommendation for the record that the Board of Trustees recognizes and celebrates Amber Nicholson for receiving, here we go again, the Alberta Teachers Association Council for School Leadership Distinguished Leadership Award and the Canadian Association of Principals Distinguished Vice Principal of the Year Award. It must be important, right? Because that's a really long title. Congratulations, Amber, for being the recipient. Now, seeing as though you are a beacon of hope, seeing as though you've answered the call to leadership, we are now, and we want to wish you, of course, an amazing, relaxing, enjoyable summer. And typically, Amber, you would stay at a public board meeting. However, today you have your beautiful family and your colleagues and your friends here with you, and I'm confident that they would love to celebrate with you. And so before proceeding to business of the meeting, which you are more than welcome to stay for, but if you do, I'm going to lose a lot of faith in you. So that being said, this is your cue where you can slip away or stay. And so we're going to go very, very slowly and allow you to go and celebrate and enjoy. Thank you very much for honoring us today. And thank you to all of you for coming to celebrate. Thank you.
The room is empty.
There you go. Maybe we should pay them to stay. Yeah, we got to let the hugs happen. Thank you once again. What a delightful start to our meeting. And of course, the delight continues as the first agenda item under business of the meeting is 2.1 ASBA 2026 School Board Innovation and Excellence Awards. And we'll turn it back over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And so the ASBA School Board Innovation and Excellence Award recognizes school boards for their role in launching innovative programs and initiatives that enhance student achievement. Nominees include divisions who meet the following criteria. The division must show that the program or initiative contributions to the quality of students' learning, and that projects should promote the division's mission, advance student learning, and include several characteristics. So at this point, I will turn it over to Superintendent Peterson to share details about our submission. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Superintendent Anderson, Madam Chair, and Trustees. Over the past several years, significant changes to the provincial mathematics curriculum from kindergarten through to soon grade 9, with further changes anticipated, have created both an opportunity and responsibility for our division. While our students continue to perform well in comparison with provincial outcomes, our data and classroom evidence pointed to an important next step: strengthening conceptual understanding, student competency, and consistency of practice across classrooms. In response, the division developed a comprehensive mathematics framework grounded in shared language, high-impact instructional practices, and flexibility for schools. What is noteworthy is how this work has been implemented. This framework has been scaled across the division through a coordinated professional learning approach, beginning with our executive leadership team, extending to principals and reaching teachers at key grade levels. This has ensured that the work is not a single initiative, but a sustained effort to build capacity and prove outcomes over time. Early indicators from the first year of implementation are strong. We are seeing growing alignment in instructional practices, increased staff engagement, and a shared commitment to developing student confidence, joy, and mastery in math. We believe this work reflects the innovation, system coherence, and student impact envisioned by the ASBA award criteria, and we respectfully recommend the board's support of this nomination. Back to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Peterson. And so, Madam Chair, our recommendation is that the Board of Trustees supports the nomination of the ECSD Mathematics Framework for the ASBA 2026 School Board Innovation and Excellence Award.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, Superintendent Peterson, Director Lafreniere, and of course the entire team for another innovative submission and the powerful impact of our ECSD mathematics framework and the many successes that it has had on our educators to help develop, I believe what you read was the confidence in a subject area that results in mastering practical life skills. Where did they have this when I was learning math back in elementary? Anyway, this is extremely excited for us, and we are truly delighted to be able to share this innovative program, and we look forward to its submission coming to life at the ASBA FGM. And so we are looking for, as this recommendation requires a motion, and I do see Trustee Mutala in queue, I'll turn it to you, Trustee Mutala, to please make this motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you to Chief Superintendent Anderson, Superintendent Peterson, and Director Lafreniere for submitting the Edmonton Catholic School Mathematics Framework to ASBA 2026 School Board Innovation and Excellence Award.
Thank you very much, Trustee Mutala. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, please.
I want to thank you very much for realizing that even though Edmonton Catholic School students perform well in math, our division, has developed a comprehensive mathematics framework to support our staff and students during all the math curriculum changes. This framework centers and creates a shared language, clear and consistent expectations, and high-quality practice across our schools. It is a guide for our staff, and we have already seen several successes after our first year of implementation, so thank you for that. So I'm definitely in favor and full support of this nomination for ASBA in the fall. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Mutala, for your confidence. I will open discussion, comments, and/or question to the rest of the board. And I do see Trustee Tiber in queue. Give me one moment, please. Go ahead, please, Trustee Tiber.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'm also excited to support this nomination. I think that I like how it's built. It's not a rigid structure. It gives the teachers flexibility. It's being talked about with different language, and we're able to get to our students. And when we talk about, our math, I think it's no surprise, math is not my favorite thing. But I do believe that having our students having the flexibility and being able to learn at their own pace is exactly where we are in our education of society. So thank you for all the work that went into this. I really do appreciate, and I'm really excited to get really, talk about it. And that's the one great thing about bringing this to a provincial association is we get to talk about it with other trustees and people around the province, and they get to see the innovative things that we do. And what I really, really love is that year after year after year now, we have been providing these innovative ideas. And that, I believe, is the conversation that goes around that room, is that Edmonton Catholic Schools comes together with some really great, really innovative ideas. May not always win them, which I personally think is wrong, but that's okay, because there are great other ideas going around the province. But we're contributing every single year. So thank you for all that you do and all the work that you provide for our students and really for our province. So that's amazing.
Thank you very much, Trustee Tiber. You're so kind. I like to win. Yeah, so when they, like, we're sitting there going, Edmonton Catholic, and we win. And then all of a sudden they say, and Edmonton Catholic. Yeah, so we sure hope that happens again, but you'll be the first to hear. I'm
Hold our
confident if
breath
we
and
do.
cross our fingers every time.
Yeah, for sure. And so seeing no one else in queue, I will turn it back to you. Trustee Mutala, should you wish to close your motion at this time? No, I'm good. Thank you. And so we will proceed to call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we will note for the record that the motion is carried. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Okay, and so next on the agenda is our division operating budget 2026 to 2027, and we'll turn it back over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. We know that Alberta Education and Childcare requires all school authorities in Alberta to submit their 2026-2027 operating budgets by June 17th, 2026. Today we have CFO Schultz, who will provide an overview of our division operating budget for 2026-2027. And so at this time, I will turn it over to CFO Schultz.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am pleased to present the Edmonton Catholic School Division 2026-2027 budget for approval by the board. I would like to thank all those involved in the development of the budget. With extensive stakeholder engagement required for its development, it is a division-wide effort. The budget was thoroughly reviewed by the Board Audit Committee, which consists of all of our trustees and 3 external members. I would like to thank the trustees, as well as our external members, Terry Harris, Deacon Wayne Provençal, and Brianne Rodriguez, for their continued dedication to the division, its staff, and all of our 50,000 plus students and their families. I would also like to extend a special thank you to the financial services team, and especially Norm Schmidt, Farrell Antoine, and Tracy Walburn for their continued efforts to assist in putting together the division operational budget. During my presentation, I intend to cover the following major areas: funding in the provincial environment, student basic education and fees, stakeholder engagement, support for inclusive education and new curriculum, division cost containment and efficiencies, a summary of the budget process and the assumptions that play a part in its development, as well as a summary of the budget itself. We will begin today with funding in the provincial environment. This section of the budget provides a general sense of how our funding is allocated under the current provincial funding formula. It provides a brief discussion of the classroom size and classroom complexity funding introduced in late 2025-2026 by Alberta Education and Childcare. This topic will come up multiple times throughout the presentation due to its impact on our budget. It outlines the assurance framework utilized by Alberta Education and Childcare, along with its school board partners across the province. Cost increases remain a consistent pressure on the division. Consistent regular rate increases are required to mitigate the continually rising costs associated with providing a quality education. The key fiscal points for the upcoming year is the division's budgeted revenues and expenditures will reach above $700 million for the first time in its history. Revenues are expected to be $704.1 million. Expenditures are budgeted to be $712.9 million. This will result in an operating deficit of $8.8 million with a planned drawdown of the accumulated surplus from operations of approximately $5.8 million. Over the last 3 years, the planned drawdown of the accumulated surplus from operations has been reduced from $18 million in 2024-2025 to $12 million in 2025-26, and for 2026-27, a roughly $6 million drawdown is planned. We will discuss these figures in more detail later in today's presentation. Student basic education and fees. The division's approach to managing student fees remains the same. However, the cost of providing transportation has become increasingly expensive over the last decade, driven by rising fuel costs, insurance costs, as well as driver costs. This has resulted in higher contract costs from our service providers. This has led the division to the difficult decision to increase transportation fees associated with yellow bus services for our families. While the increase will result in $2.3 million in additional free revenue, this only serves to meet the increased costs associated with the transportation of our students and ensures the system remains sustainable in the future. Division engagement. The continued practice of engaging with management and schools throughout the year remains key for the overall success of budget development. The budget is discussed with all levels of the organization throughout the school year. This ensures that everyone is provided the same information throughout the year, and the final budget does not come as a surprise. This includes regular updates for the Audit and Finance Committee, which starts in September and continues throughout the school year. Support for inclusive education. The number of students requiring specialized supports continues to increase year over year. Between inclusive supports and curriculum, the division continues to invest in excess of $15 million more than the funds directly provided by Alberta Education and Childcare. In addition to these funds, the 42 classroom complexities in our K-9 schools resulting from additional funding provided by Alberta Education and Childcare are welcome and appreciated. It should also be noted that the 140 additional teachers planned in relation to the recently announced classroom size funding will also assist simply by helping the division reduce the size of K-9 classrooms in our schools. Support for new curriculum. Edmonton Catholic Schools continues to refine and improve its approach to all the new curriculum requirements. This approach helps to ensure that our schools are able to adopt to the various curriculum changes and succeed in their delivery to our students. The overall fiscal landscape, the division continues to maximize funding to the classroom at every opportunity. In the current year, with rate increases provided to government, we were able to increase the per student rate provided to our schools by 10% across the board. The division appreciates the continued funding provided by the province, but knows that consistent rate increases, knows that consistent and predictable rate increases are required to ensure that we can meet the needs of our students while faced with the ever-increasing costs associated with delivering a quality education at all grade levels. Division cost containment and efficiencies. Utilization rates in our schools remain high at 100%. Roughly 2/3 of our schools maintain a utilization rate in excess of 85%. This is especially relevant at the high school level. New schools and modulars allow the division to address this issue on an ongoing basis, and with the 47 new modulars expected to be at our school sites in the new year, as well as the opening of St. Carlo Acutis High School, will assist the division in reducing our utilization rates. Funding to the classroom always remains the focus during the decision-making process, which will be highlighted when we go through our detailed financial information. The budget process involves working with staff throughout the division to ensure resource decisions are made while understanding the impact of these initiatives on all areas. It is truly a collaborative effort to ensure that resources are spent wisely and judiciously, and that the majority of those dollars show up in the classroom. It involves interaction with the Board of Trustees, especially through the Board Audit Finance Committee, throughout the year, so they are well informed as the school year progresses. Our budget assumptions are an enrollment of increase of 1.8%, which is a much more sustainable increase as compared to previous years. The ECSD will maintain its differentiated and site-based funding model. It is also should be noted that there was an increase in all Alberta education and child care funding rates, at least the majority of them, as well as additional funding provided for the teacher salary settlement. These funding rates helped greatly in managing the inflationary pressures facing the division. It should also be noted that system and administration costs remain well below the maximum of 3.2%. So, with that, we will get on with the actual numbers. The budgeted statement of operations with expenses by program. We will, within these variances that I'm speaking, we'll be comparing the budget 2025-2026 to budget 2026 to 27. Revenues increased from $90.5 million from $613.6 million to $704.1 million, driven by the following major factors. A $90.7 million increase in government revenues, to be discussed in detail in a later slide, from $477.8 million to $568.5 million. 84% of the division's revenues are tied to provincial funding, which increases to 93% with the inclusion of property taxes. There was a $3.8 million increase in fees from $23.1 million to $26.9 million, driven by the increase in transportation fees for yellow bus services, the enrollment increase, for yellow bus services and the enrollment increase. These were offset by reductions in Alberta infrastructure revenue, federal government revenue, and no inclusion of a gain on disposal as was included in the previous year's budget. Expenses by program increased by $87.2 million from $625.7 million to $712.9 million, driven by the two following factors. K-12 instructional costs increased by $77.1 million from $492.3 million to $569.4 million, driven primarily by the increased funding rates mentioned and increased enrollment. Operations and maintenance increased by $6.4 million from $79.2 million to $85.6 million, driven by the addition of St. Carlo Acutis High School, as well as increased rates provided by government. Expense by object also increased by $87.2 million from $625.7 million to $712.9 million, driven by two significant factors. Salaries and benefits increased from $78.6 million from $487.7 million to $566.3 million. This is driven by two major factors. All employee groups experienced a contract settlement in the previous year, raising their salaries and benefits rates year over year. This includes our certificated staff or our teachers. The largest increases were seen in certificated staff costs, and this was driven both by increased salary and benefits due to the salary settlement, as well as the additional funding provided by classroom complexity and classroom size funding, as per Alberta education and childcare requirements, it is to be dedicated primarily to hiring new teachers within our schools. Contracts and services is also expected to increase by $6.9 million to support the growing needs of the division. Now, percentage-wise, expenses by program, total instructional costs have climbed from 78.7% in last year's budget to 79.9% in next year's budget. Operations and maintenance was reduced from 12.7% to 12.0%. Transportation was reduced from 4.9% to 4.7%. System and administration reduced from 2.7% to 2.6%, and external services was reduced from 1.1% to 0.8%. In reality, the cost associated with non-instructional costs did grow, but the cost of instruction grew at a faster rate, primarily driven, again, by the classroom complexity and classroom size funding, as well as the committed nature of the division to providing continued investment in its classrooms. Expense by account, again, certificated salaries and benefits increased from 51.1% to 53%, and non-certificated salaries and benefits decreased from 26.9% to 26.4%. Services and contracts were reduced from 18.1% to 16.9%. Now, for additional information on a significant source of our funding, our Alberta education funding, there was a $90.7 million increase in government revenues year over year. This increase was driven by the following factors: an enrollment increase of 1.8%. There was a 3% increase in the base education rate, remembering that there was no funding provided specifically for the teacher salary settlement for the 26-27 year, and this was provided instead. There was a 3% increase in the SLS rate, a 6% increase in the EAL rate, a 3% increase in the FNMI rate, a 5% increase to operations and maintenance funding, inclusive of the reduction in the IMR program. There was also a 3% increase to transportation funding, with additional support provided by Alberta Education and Childcare for the transportation of students with diverse needs. The additional funding for the classroom complexity teams, as well as the class size initiative, is now shown as a separate line of funding and is projected to total $29.2 million in the 2026-2027 year, with the intention of hiring roughly 182 teachers and 84 educational assistants in our K-9 schools. The reduction in the infrastructure maintenance and renewal line, infrastructure maintenance and renewal was removed as a separate funding stream, so it was essentially discontinued, with some of that funding rolled into the operation and maintenance funding noted previously. For our fee revenues, there was a $3.8 million increase in fees, again, primarily driven by the increase in transportation fees as well as increased enrollment. Our accumulated surplus from operations, as noted previously, the division intends to use $5.7 million from its accumulated surplus from operations in the upcoming year. This represents the division's continued reduction of its dependence on this accumulated surplus for ongoing costs. The accumulated surplus is expected to be approximately $21.8 million by the end of the 2026-2027 year, or 3.1%, which is well within the range of the 1% minimum established by Alberta Education and Childcare and the 6% maximum. Capital reserves as well as deferred capital. As part of budget 2026-2027, we are planning to use a portion of our capital reserve and deferred capital. Both the use of the reserve and deferred capital require board approval. Keep in mind that deferred capital can only be used for operational school sites, whereas capital reserves can be used for all sites. The St. Basil roof was identified through a 2022 roof inspection project as requiring replacement in 2024, and as well the building houses critical IT infrastructure for the division. The cost to replacing this roof is $1.5 million. Modular links are also required at 4 school sites due to the influx of modulars for the division in the upcoming year. Just a reminder, we are expecting to add 47 modulars throughout the division in the upcoming year. These links are deemed important for the overall operation of the school sites and are expected to cost approximately $0.8 million. So finally, enrollment, again, the 1.8% increase to enrollment forecasts that the division will, for the first time, be home to in excess of 52,000 students. And just as a reminder, this return to normal enrollment increases is in stark contrast to recent history when those increases were truly at an unsustainable 4, 5, and almost 6% in certain years. With that, I would like to pass it back to Chief Superintendent Anderson to read the motions.
Thank you very much, CFO Schultz and the Financial Services team and the Executive Leadership team and Audit and Finance Committee, who have remained focused on directing resources where they have the greatest impact in our classrooms and in support of student success. And so, Madam Chair, there are 4 recommendations, so I will be reading the first one. The first recommendation is that the Board of Trustees of Edmonton Catholic Separate School Division approves the use of up to $1.5 million for a roof replacement at St. Basil from the Capital Reserve.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, of course, CFO Schultz, Superintendent Nacarado, and the entire financial team. And thank you, CFO Schultz, for recognizing the Audit and Finance Committee's efforts and for the diligence and foresight of all for preparing the 2026-2027 division budget. On behalf of the board, we are truly grateful for the efforts, diligence, and transparency of the entire team. Through a comprehensive process and preliminary review that preceded the final budget, this budget doesn't come as a surprise, understanding that this $712.9 million budget is a strategic response that keeps the focus on students and classrooms, and which is supported by increased provincial funding while carefully managing rising costs and continued growth across the division. And of course, we're extremely grateful to the Alberta government's, investment, increased investment in education, which results in, as you shared with us today, an estimated $90.7 million increase in provincial funding for this upcoming year compared to the previous year that will help the division support responding continued enrollment growth, increased classroom complexity, and of course the rising costs related to salaries, benefits, and inflation. And as this is a motion, and I do see Trustee Mutala in queue, I'll turn it to you, Trustee Mutala, to please make this motion. Go ahead, please.
I move that the Board of Trustees of Edmonton Catholic Separate School Division approves the use of up to $1.5 million for a roof replacement at St. Basil's from the Capital Reserve.
Thank you very much. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
It's just that we have found it was identified in a 2022 inspection that it needed to be replaced, and it houses our IT infrastructure, so it's very important that we do this.
Thank you very much. And I will open discussion to the board and do recognize Trustee Pellick in queue. Go ahead, please. Oh, I'll get you to put yourself back. Go ahead, please, Trustee Pellick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just wondering if it was identified in 2022, why has it taken it so long to put the funds forward to that, even being that they're being used from the capital, like the capital funds for that? So I'm just wondering why, especially with it housing the IT and being that it would be, very important that something like that would be looked after. And if it was identified in 2022, isn't there more damage that's going to be done had it not been dealt with right away?
Chair Palazzo, through you, Trustee Pellick. In all honesty, Trustee Pellick, the inspections done in 2022 were a prediction of the condition of the roof in 2024, noting that in ideal circumstances, it be replaced in 2024. However, the infrastructure needs and the capacity of the team managing those products is limited. There are ongoing inspections by the facilities group, and it was deemed safe to delay the replacement of this roof until the 2026 timeframe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Trustee Pellick, and thank you to you, CFO Schultz, for your response. And seeing no one else in queue, I will insert myself and share support for the motion. A roof replacement, it's essential to ensure safety, and building maintenance is important. And I'll turn it back to you, Trustee Mutala, should you wish to close your motion at this time. Thank you. Thank you, and so we will now call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record that the motion is carried. And I will now turn it back to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson, for the second recommendation.
Thank you very much. And so our second recommendation is that the Board of Trustees of Edmonton Catholic Separate School Division approves the use of up to $0.8 million in deferred capital for modular links at up to 4 school sites.
Thank you very much. And once again, I do see Trustee Mutala back in queue to make this second motion, so I'll turn it over to you. Go ahead, please, Trustee Mutala.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the Board of Trustees of Edmonton Catholic Separate School Division approves the use of up to $0.8 million in deferred capital for module links at up to 4 of our school sites.
Thank you very much. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
It's very important that we get these modules in place, so that's all I can say.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you very much. And I will open up the queue for questions and or comments to any other trustees. And seeing no one else in queue, I will once again insert myself and share support for the motion, as well as with the influx of modulars. These dollars are critical for the overall operation of our school sites. So thank you for your great diligence in that. And once again, I'll turn it back to you, Trustee Mutala. Should you wish you...
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. And so at this time, we will call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record that the motion is carried. And we will now turn it back to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson, to please bring forward the third recommendation.
Thank you. Our third recommendation is that the Board of Trustees of Edmonton Catholic Separate School Division approves the Division Operating Budget 2026-2027 as presented.
Thank you very much once again, Chief Superintendent Anderson, and of course CFO Schultz and the entire financial team. Now, I've already spoken to the budget, but I do have to say that this budget reflects a meaningful progress in provincial investment in education, allowing us to add teachers and enhance classroom supports as we respond to continued enrollment growth and the increasingly complex needs of our students. But at the same time, we're facing significant cost pressures and ongoing growth that require careful financial management. And in our efforts to remain committed to responsible stewardship of public resources while ensuring that students continue to receive the supports they need to succeed, this budget understandably includes a planned use of $5.8 million from our accumulated surplus from operations. Now, again, this is a measured and strategic position to help address our current priorities, recognizing that reliance on reserves is not a sustainable long-term solution. We are, however, proud that the budget reflects a deliberate choice to direct the majority of available funding toward instruction and student learning, once again recognizing that while this approach prioritizes the classroom, it also means that other areas of the system will continue to face financial pressures and require ongoing efficiencies. But thank you once again to the team. And as this recommendation also requires a motion, and I do see Trustee Mutala in queue, I'll turn it to you, Trustee Mutala, to please make this motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the Board of Trustees of Edmonton Catholic Separate School Division approves the division operating budget for 2026-2027 as presented.
Thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
Yes, and I just want to say a big thank you to Chief Superintendent Anderson, Chief Financial Officer Chad Schultz, Superintendent Nacarado, and all the financial team for presenting the Edmonton Catholic Schools 2026-2027 operating budget to us in May, as the committee as a whole. And a big thank you to our external members, Deacon Wayne Provincial, Brianna Rodriguez, and Terry Harris. And the whole financial team presented the budget to us. So our 2026-27 budget will focus on maximizing funding to our classrooms. With our increase in student enrollment by 1.8%, the funding that we sometimes receive from Alberta Ed and childcare does not fully cover and address all of the rising costs of salaries, services, and supplies. And so we have to take a drawdown of our accumulated surplus from operations. And these challenges, we have to make sure that our goal is to address the fiscal challenges while continuing to advance the priorities of our division and individual schools. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone to make sure that this budget is completed, approved, and submitted on time, which is today, I think. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Mutala. Yeah, good catch there. Thank you. And that being said, I will open queue to the rest of trustees, and seeing no one else in queue, once again, insert myself and just add that as we anticipate serving more than, I don't know if you said more than 52,000 students or up to 52,000 students, but 52,000 students certainly resonates for me in the 2026-2027 school year. And of course, with student enrollment having increased by nearly 7,900 students over the past 5 years, that the decision to ensure the majority of expenditures continues to be directed to our classroom instruction reflects our commitment to supporting teaching and learning where it matters most. And Trustee Mutala, I'm not certain if you'd like to close your motion at this time.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Thank you very much. And so we will call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record that the motion is carried. And we will now move on to recommendation number 4. We'll turn it back over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our final recommendation is that based on the evidence provided in the Division Operating Budget 2026-2027, the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12 Appendix B relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 4.4, 4.8, 8.3, 8.4, 8.5, 9.1, and 10.3.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson. And Trustee Mutala, I see you're on a roll and back in queue, so I'll turn it back to you to make this 4th motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That I move that based on the evidence provided in the Division Operating Budget 2026-27, the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, relative to the current evaluation period as previously read.
Thank you very much. And so do you wish to speak to your motion at this time?
No, I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I will open discussion, comments, and/or question to the rest of the board. And seeing none then, whether I doubt that you want to close your motion, but I will give you that opportunity. You're good to go? Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
And so at this time, we will proceed to call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we will note for the record that the motion is carried. Thank you once again for preparing us so well, and no surprises here today as you briefed us extremely well prior to this. So thank you, Chief Superintendent Anderson, CFO Schultz, and the entire financial team for your great diligence and expertise. That was excellent. Thank you. And so the next agenda item under business of the meeting is 2.3 Chief Superintendent Evaluation 2025 to 2026. And so I will read the background. In accordance with the board's policy on the annual evaluation of the superintendent, the board has completed the evaluation of Chief Superintendent Lynette Anderson for the 2025-2026 school year. The board contracted an external facilitator to complete the process. The Board of Trustees recognizes and appreciates the leadership of Chief Superintendent Lynette Anderson and her ongoing commitment to Edmonton Catholic schools. Throughout the year, Chief Superintendent Anderson has demonstrated deep dedication to Catholic education, student success, staff well-being, and the division's mission, vision, and values. Her leadership has helped guide Edmonton Catholic schools through continued growth and change while maintaining a strong focus on supporting students and fostering excellence in learning. The board is extremely grateful for Chief Superintendent Anderson's collaborative approach, her commitment to continuous improvement, and her efforts to strengthen relationships across the division and the broader community. We thank her for her service and for the positive impact she continues to have on students, staff, families, and Catholic education in Edmonton. Now, there are two recommendations, and we'll start with the first recommendation, that the board approve the superintendent evaluation report as developed during the evaluation workshop of May 29, 2026 as an accurate accounting of the superintendent's performance for the period June 4, 2025 to May 29, 2026, and further that the board authorize the chair to make any required technical edits and to sign the report on the board's behalf. And as this recommendation is a motion, and I do see Vice Chair Tuchansky in queue, I'll turn it over to you, Vice Chair Tuchansky, to please make this motion.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I don't have the motion that you just read on my package. I just have one recommendation. It's okay. Sorry, just, yeah, it's okay. Sorry, I apologize.
There we go.
Thank you. Yeah, I just have one. Thank you. I move that the board approve the superintendent evaluation report as developed during the evaluation workshop of May 29, 2026 as an accurate accounting of the superintendent's performance for the period June 4th, 2025 to May 29, 2026. And further, that the board authorize the chair to make any required technical edits and to sign the report on the board's behalf.
Thank you very much. Vice Chair Tuchansky, do you wish to speak to your motion?
I do quickly. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to express our sincere gratitude to Chief Superintendent Lynette Anderson for her exceptional leadership throughout the 2025-2026 school year. The results of this year's evaluation reflect what we see every single day: an unwavering commitment to Catholic education, student success, staff well-being, and the mission and values that guide Edmonton Catholic schools. Under Lynette's leadership, our division has continued to grow, innovate, and respond thoughtfully to the needs of our students, families, and staff while remaining firmly rooted in faith and excellence. Lynette has also worked closely with government and our board chair to ensure our division's voice is heard, creating a number of valuable opportunities to engage with the education minister and others to bring forward the perspectives of our students, staff, and families in a practical and thoughtful manner. I would also like to extend our appreciation to everyone who participated in the evaluation process. Meaningful evaluations are only possible when individuals take the time to provide thoughtful feedback, and we are grateful for the contributions of all of those who helped inform this important work. The board values the integrity of the process and is pleased to acknowledge a very successful evaluation. We look forward to Lynette's continued leadership and are thankful for the positive impact that she has had on our division, our community, and most importantly, the children entrusted to all of our care. Oh, we can clap.
Thank you. I was going to wait until after the second recommendation, but absolutely, we
Clap
love
after
to
all of
clap.
them.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautifully said. Thank you so much, Vice Chair Tuchansky. And so at this time, we will open queue questions and or comments for the rest of the board, and I do recognize Trustee Tiber in queue. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to also add that this was a demanding year for the division. Like our enrollment growth that we just heard about, our capital approved projects that were approved, the salary negotiations, our budget that provincially that just kept shifting. And you navigated all while keeping a focus on the students and our Catholic mission. So that was one thing that you always had underlying is our Catholic mission. And for that, first of all, congratulations. And second of all, thank you for your continued commitment to Edmonton Catholic Schools and to our students and our staff. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Trustee Tiber. And so I don't see anyone else in queue, and I will proceed to call the vote at this time. Well, that was fast. Thank you very much. So we'd like to note for the record that the motion is carried. All trustees are in favor, and the motion is carried, and therefore we are extremely delighted to congratulate you, Chief Superintendent Anderson, on your outstanding performance. And I it's been said. It's been said here by two trustees. Your ability to empower others, to cultivate collective efficacy, to lead with unwavering integrity is unparalleled. And so, moreover, you have a dedication to foster positive relationships together with your resilience, your transparency, your wisdom, and all of that encompasses just an exemplary leader has been instrumental to the division's success and serves as a testament to your exceptional leadership. Your professional yet warm and approachable demeanor is a tremendous asset to our division, reflecting your genuine commitment to compassionate leadership. And of course, we are truly blessed to work alongside a chief superintendent whose dedication, vision, and pursuit of excellence inspire all those around you and which contribute to meaningfully to all of our staff, students, families, and the families that we serve. And it's no wonder that more and more of your staff want to spend more and more time with you. So I think that was the biggest concern that we heard as a board, is that they would like to have her more in there. But of course, there's one of her, and there's how many of them. And so I guess if you have to have any kind of criticism, that's the one that came through. I'd take that criticism any day. That being said, congratulations. And so we will now proceed to the second recommendation, that pursuant to Section 222 of the Education Act, the Board of Trustees reappoints Lynette Anderson to the position of Chief Superintendent of Schools for Edmonton Catholic Separate School Division, subject to terms and conditions of employment as agreed to between the board and Ms. Anderson. And so again, this requires a motion, and I do see Vice Chair Tuchansky in queue, and I'll turn it to you, Vice Chair Tuchansky, to please make this motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I apologize for the scramble earlier. I was looking at our own self-evaluation, so I apologize. I move that pursuant to Section 222 of the Education Act, the Board of Trustees reappoints Lynette Anderson to the position of Chief Superintendent of Schools for Edmonton Catholic Separate School Division, subject to terms and conditions of employment as agreed to between the board and Ms. Anderson.
Thank you very much. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
No, I'm just super grateful she said yes.
Okay, and so I will open up queue and comments to the rest of the board, and seeing none, I will now call the vote. Thank you very much. And so for the record, we're pleased to share that it's unanimous. And so the board, of course, is in favor, all of us, to, of course, congratulate and to move the motion forward. It has been carried, and I think that this deserves a round of applause. You know, it's funny. I don't know why I'm so nervous. She's on the hot seat. But again, just commendations to the Board of Trustees for your great diligence and transparency and for your great work ethic in ensuring that we have one of the best. Thank you. And so at this time, Chief Superintendent Anderson, I'm not certain if you'd like to share a few words, but I certainly will turn it over to you to do so.
Yeah, thank you very much. I certainly do. And I just want to say I'm really grateful for the affirming and generous feedback and just to the Board of Trustees, your trust, support, and our strong partnership in service of ECSD is truly invaluable. It is an honor to serve the division so deeply rooted in faith and committed to student success. And to be honest, I am always inspired by the dedication of all our staff and the collective efforts that advance optimal learning and our commitment to Catholic education while responding to the needs of an ever-changing landscape. And so I just want to reaffirm I remain committed to our shared work, guided in collaboration, continuous improvement, and a focus on what is best for students. So thank you for your support.
And thank you to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson, as once again, you've confirmed why you are at the helm of our division. Thank you so much. And so last agenda item under business of the meeting is 2.4 Board Self-Evaluation 2025 to 2026. And I take great pride to read the background. In accordance with Board Policy 2, which outlines the role of the Board of Trustees annually evaluates its performance to identify areas of strength on which to build and specific changes the corporate board is committed to make during the next evaluation period. In the process, trustees assess the board's effectiveness relative to each role area as outlined in Policy 2. On June 11, 2026, the Board of Trustees of Edmonton Catholic Schools completed its 2025 to 2026 self-evaluation as outlined in Board Policy 2. Appendix A, facilitated board self-evaluation process. The evaluation was conducted with the support of an external consultant, and the recommendation is that the board approve the board self-evaluation report as developed at the facilitated workshop of June 11, 2026, and that the board chair be authorized to monitor the priorities and suggestions agreed to and bring items forward for board consideration as deemed appropriate. And I do once again see Vice Chair Tuchansky in queue who would like to make this motion, and I pass it over to you, Vice Chair Tuchansky.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the board approve the board self-evaluation report as developed at the facilitated workshop of June 11th, 2026, and that the board chair be authorized to monitor the priorities and suggestions agreed to and bring items forward for board consideration as deemed appropriate.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair Tuchansky. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
I do. I would like to acknowledge the commitment of the Board of Trustees to engaging in a thoughtful and comprehensive self-evaluation process. As a board that has welcomed new trustees and navigated its first year together, it was important to us that this evaluation be meaningful, honest, and thorough. Good governance requires both reflection and a willingness to continually improve, and I am proud of the time and the effort that the trustees invested in examining our work, our relationships, and our effectiveness in serving students, families, staff, and the broader Catholic community. I want to thank my colleagues who participated in the process and provided feedback. The evaluation included comprehensive questions, thoughtful discussions, all intended to strengthen our governance practices. The willingness of participants to share their perspectives openly and candidly contributed greatly to the evaluation. We are grateful for the guidance of our external facilitator and for the collective commitment to ensuring Edmonton Catholic Schools continues to be governed with integrity, accountability, and a steadfast focus on our mission of inspiring students to learn and preparing them to live fully and serve God in one another. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the beautiful words, Vice Chair Tuchansky. At this time, I will open the queue to the rest of the board, should they wish to share any comments and or discussion. And seeing none, I just want to reiterate the words of Vice Chair Tuchansky. I believe that this has been a remarkable journey, and as a new board, to work together collaboratively, we are truly blessed to ensure that we are supporting our division in the best way forward and moving forward. And I know that the new buzzword this year has been optimal. So that our students achieve an optimal learning experience by optimal staff and by, no, I'll just leave it at that. Thank you very much. And so at this time, we will now call the vote. Thank you very much. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, I'm delighted to share that the motion is carried. Thank you. We will now move on to number 3 on the agenda, presentation and review of accountability reports, starting with 3.1 Social Justice in Edmonton Catholic Schools Report 2025 to 2026. And we'll turn it over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Each year, our students and staff embrace the opportunity to create a more just and loving world through acts of social justice. Every school in the division carries out social justice activities as part of their Catholic mission. The activities are school-directed and often reflect the areas of greatest interest to students. The division doesn't direct the types of social justice activities. It's really student-led. However, we do encourage participation in the We Care Challenge, the division's fall campaign in support of the Edmonton Catholic Schools Foundation. When a social justice activity is undertaken, it is done in a manner that helps to unfold one or more themes of Catholic social teachings. We thank our school chaplains, who are a tremendous support to their school communities in leading this work. Some themes, such as call to family, community, and participation, as well as preferential option for the poor and vulnerable, tend to be the most prevalent Catholic social teaching choices. Each year, every school is asked to provide a narrative that summarizes the social justice projects that have been undertaken over the course of the year, and you would have seen that report in your package. The focus of the narrative is, of course, focusing on the themes of Catholic social teaching that they have explored and also highlighting some of the key learnings. This report is to celebrate the tremendous efforts and learning that takes place in our schools and sites on an ongoing basis. And so at this point, we would like to share a video created by our talented communications team to highlight the impactful work that was done this year.
Giving back to the community not only brings you closer to God, but also betters yourself as a person. It's important to give to people and not always expect to receive.
Everyone needs a little kindness in their heart, even if they're having a bad day or they're sad.
This project is completely student-led, and after brainstorming some ideas, they came up with this one.
I'm so proud of our students and what they've done. The students made the signs, promoted the event, and we talked to all the classes in the school, asked them to participate as well.
Grade 3 students from Father Michael Muro brought a box full of handmade toys and cards to the Humane Society.
I want the kids to know that they are citizens not only of our classroom, but also of their world. And so I always try to do a social justice project, and I let them take the reins on it.
I think my favorite part was that knowing that we were doing something good for our community and that we can do something even though we're small.
Indigenous students from Archbishop O'Leary are creating ribbon skirts and shirts.
Haley Johnson applied for a local grant that's covering the cost of these materials, helping her classmates stitch together a connection with their culture.
It's the empowerment of our ancestors that helped me show this and helped me build this big thing for everybody else so they could express themselves as well.
I had to put my hard work into this shirt. And I know it seems small, but it's a really deep-rooted thing.
Seeing my school just being so kind to communities like that just makes my heart full of love and compassion.
So just in closing, I do want to take a moment just to thank Joanne Burkhart, who takes all the submissions and produces this beautiful report for us. And I just want to say how proud we are of our schools and students who continue to be agents of change and for modeling what is true, good, and beautiful. And so at this time, I will read the recommendation that based on the evidence provided in the Social Justice Report 2025-2026, the board determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 1.1, 1.3, and 10.3.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson. And so pull out the Kleenex box. This is one of those wow and aha moments. And of course, it's with full and joyous hearts that we applaud you and our exceptional staff, our students, and our community for putting faith in action. This extraordinary report and accompanying video are both truly outstanding as they offer powerful and inspiring stories of students and schools acting as agents of change. And while they beautifully reflect the exceptional commitment and dedication across our division, rooted in a Catholic worldview that affirms the profound gift of making a meaningful difference in the world, it goes without saying that this report is both a privilege to receive and a testament to the longstanding tradition of deep engagement in social justice within our schools. It highlights how beautifully, how powerfully our students and our staff faithfully put belief into action through meaningful initiatives grounded in Catholic social teaching. And so, of course, this is something that truly we are able to witness whenever we go into our schools. Across all of our schools and departments, we see this actual work in action, and it just gives us so much more pride. And so congratulations to all for your efforts for this that reflects compassion, service, stewardship, and care for others, helping to build a more just, hopeful, and a faith-filled world. And of course, which makes us #ECSD proud. Thank you very much. And now I do see there's a competition going on the side here, but Vice Chair Tuchansky is first in queue. Sorry, everyone. So she beat you all to it, and I think she would like to make this motion, so I'll turn it to you first.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that based on the evidence provided in the Social Justice Report 2025-2026, the board determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, relative to the current evaluation period. Q1 1.1, Q1 1.3, QI 10.3.
Thank you. And I suspect you'd like to speak to your motion?
I sure would. This is my favorite time of the year, this Social Justice Report. So I cannot believe that every year we seem to outgive the last year. And each year I read our Social Justice Report and think there is no possible way that our students, staff, and families can do more than they did the year before. And yet, somehow, they do. The generosity, compassion, and commitment to serving others that exists across Edmonton Catholic schools is nothing short of extraordinary. Time and time again, our students see a need and they respond. Our staff create opportunities for meaningful service. Our families step forward with open hearts. And together, they remind us that social justice is not an event or a project. It is a way of living our faith every single day. And as I read through the beautiful stories captured in this year's report, I am reminded that we are truly living our Catholic faith and modeling ourselves after Jesus through our generosity of spirit and care for one another. Whether supporting the poor and the vulnerable, caring for God's creations, advocating for dignity and human rights, or building strong communities, our students are putting their faith into action in remarkable ways. Thank you to every staff member, every student, every family, every parish partner, and volunteer who has contributed to this incredible work. Your actions demonstrate that Catholic education is far more than just what happens inside of a classroom. It is about forming young people who are ready to change the world through love, service, and hope. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair Tuchansky. Next in queue is Trustee Tiber. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And this report always warms our hearts. I mean, it's the perfect way to send off our division into summer too. Its summary is amazing, and it's a perfect snapshot of what Catholic social teaching lived out looks like. Not described in a report, but practically in our schools every day, and our communities as well. And these are not just small things. That's what always amazes me. These are our young people learning that faith requires action, not just belief, and it will take them out into the world as they graduate. And so to every student, teacher, and member of our schools, you are the reason Catholic education matters. And this is exactly what we talk about when we say publicly funded Catholic education matters. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your beautiful words. As I was listening to you, I was thinking, yeah, they're walking away with life skills. So, amazing, compassionate human beings. So thank you very much, Trustee Tiber. Next in queue is Trustee Mutala. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Every time I read this report, I'm like the rest of my trustees here. It warms my heart because these social justice activities are done through a Catholic worldview to ensure that our students connect their good works to an understanding of our Catholic faith. It is truly amazing to me that all the wonderful activities that our schools are able to do, and even our smaller schools with less resources, they do such wonderful acts of social justice in their communities, such as making cards for the seniors, shoveling snow, or collecting socks for the homeless people. I just want to say a big thank you to all of our staff and students and families who do this wonderful work.
Thank you so much, Trustee Mutala. Beautifully said. And so, seeing no one else in queue, I will turn it back to you, Vice Chair Tuchansky, should you wish to close your motion at this time.
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And so we will proceed to call the vote. Thank you very much. I will, as all trustees are in favor, we'll note for the record that the motion is carried. Thank you so much. We will now move on to 3.2, Systems Excellence Report, and back over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you. Our division conducted the ECSD Systems Excellence Survey from March 2nd to March 20th to engage division staff from all schools and all departments with respect to their work and work environment. The Systems Excellence Survey includes all staff, whereas the annual survey, which you would have seen before, focuses on student learning and includes only our certificated teachers and administration. So at this time, I will turn it over to Superintendent Fian to share highlights of our Systems Excellence Survey.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, Madam Chair, trustees. Again, always appreciate the opportunity to present. The Edmonton Catholic School Division Systems Excellence Survey Results Report of 2025-2026 provides the division results derived from our Systems Excellence Survey that was conducted from March 2nd to March 20th. The survey engaged division staff from all schools and departments regarding their work and work environment. Survey items were developed during the 2023-24 school year to align with the division plan for continuous growth that was in place for the 2023 to 2026 school years. Division results will be available through the Systems Excellence Dashboard. In addition to the division results, individual school reports will be available to each school principal and individual department reports available to each department superintendent. These reports are used by leadership teams for planning purposes. Staff members will also be able to view the results for their school or department through the SharePoint Systems Excellence Dashboard. And again, before we begin, a special thank you goes out to our Acting Manager of Applied Research, Caitlin Harris, as well as her team, Jessica Ray Parkins, Lisa Motley, and all the extensive work that goes into compiling these reports and digesting the data. As was just shared, this report took place in March 2nd to March 20th of this year and was based on the the division plan for continuous growth. These paper surveys were distributed to division staff from all schools and all departments. There were 4,872 surveys distributed and 4,211 surveys completed. Overall, the response rate for the 2025-2026 school year was 86.4% for overall division staff. Each survey consisted of a series of statements to which survey participants were asked to indicate their level of agreement, of strongly agree, agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. As indicated in the report, the upper scales of strongly agree and agree, as well as the lower scales of the report in strongly disagree and disagree, were combined. And the result is a 2-point scale of agreement or disagreement, which is referred to as a dichotomous scale. This combination provides global information that's more comparable across the 5 survey groups, as well as comparable to the Alberta Education Childcare's survey methodology. And the survey were also grouped into themes using their agreement percentages. As a result, the report provides the division results for the 2025-2026 survey administration. However, these results should be interpreted with caution, as the following factors may have influenced participation and responses. As has been previously shared in other reports, the breakdown of negotiations between teachers and the Government of Alberta led to a province-wide labour disruption that began on October 6, 2025. Classes were cancelled for 700,000 students across the province in more than 2,000 schools. The passage of Bill 2 and the resulting labour disruption caused significant disruption across the education system, affecting student learning experiences, family stability, and teacher well-being. The scope of the duration of these impacts likely influenced both the survey results and response rates across the division staff. In addition to this, other division employee groups also experienced changes to their collective agreements or compensation structures over the past year. In June of 2025, Edmonton Catholic Schools and Unifor Local 54A ratified a new collective agreement, which was later followed by the ratification of a new collective agreement with AUPE Local 71, Chapter 13, in February of 2026. Additionally, this year, the division partnered with Mercer Canada to conduct a multi-phase review of our out-of-scope compensation structure. These labour agreements and compensation discussions may have had an impact on survey participation and overall survey results. Due to the factors stated above, caution should be used when comparing results across time. So here we'll start with our highlights. What you'll notice at the very top of our list is our Catholic identity, followed closely behind by overall satisfaction and foundational knowledge of First Nation, Métis, and Inuit persons, as they round up our top 3, with agreement in a positive workplace culture coming in to a very close 4th. And now we see the range in results, which shows us that the Catholic identity is a clear continued strength for Edmonton Catholic Schools at just over 97%. And it proceeds all the way through all of our themes down to professional learning and improvement at just under 90%. These results paint an affirming picture of the current direction of our school division. And now on to our division themes. In this section, the survey items are organized into themes, again using the dichotomous percentages. This theme reflects how division staff experience and live out their Catholic identity in daily work. The results are very strong across all indicators, with agreement levels remaining consistently high, ranging at about 95% to nearly 98% of agreement, indicating a shared sense that faith is both visible and accessible in school and workplace environments. Staff report very strong alignment in having their regular opportunities for prayer and participation in religious celebrations, both approaching 98% of agreement, with similarly high confidence that their environments are grounded in the Catholic faith. There are always opportunities for engagement in social justice activities, and that is also widely affirmed, with agreement still above 95%, suggesting a consistent commitment to Catholic options and actions. These results point to the foundational and widely experienced Catholic identity across the division, with only a slight variation across areas, reinforcing our faith as a clear center for our school division. The theme of wellness reflects how the division staff experience and support their own wellness within the workplace, and the overall results are strong across all areas. Agreement levels are consistently high, with all indicators near or above 90%, showing a shared understanding that wellness is both supported and accessible. Staff report very strong alignment in knowing where to find wellness tools and resources, and in having someone they can turn to for support, both at about 95% agreement, which suggests a strong foundation in awareness and collegial care. Well, the most notable differences appears in the perceptions of the values of wellness resources, which still are positive at roughly about 89% agreement. There is also high confidence at just over 90% that workplaces promote psychological safety. For workplace culture, this theme reflects how the division staff experience respect, inclusion, and support within their workplace, and the results show strong positive perceptions. Agreement levels are high, with all indicators above 90%, highlighting a shared commitment to respectful and inclusive environments. Staff are especially aligned in their belief that their workplace expects respect for people of all faiths, cultures, and backgrounds, with agreement nearly 98%, and there is a similarly strong confidence in alignment with respect in the workplace expectations. Ratings for conflict being managed respectfully, access to support from supervisors, and recognition of contributions all remain above 90%, indicating a broadly positive and supportive culture here in Edmonton Catholic Schools. While there are some areas that show slightly more variation, they still reflect high agreement overall. The results for promoting diversity highlight alignment in how staff experience equity and belonging in their workplaces. Agreement is very high overall, with about 96% of staff indicating that the division strategies were well implemented, with staff agreeing at around 90% when it comes to staff feeling that their unique gifts and talents are recognized and celebrated. This theme reflects staff perceptions of how the division is advancing foundational knowledge of First Nation, Métis, and Inuit perspectives, and supporting learning aligned with truth and reconciliation. The results are very positive overall, with strong agreement across both areas. About 95% of staff recognize that the division is actively advancing the truth and reconciliation calls to action, and just under 93% feel that they are provided with opportunities to build their own understanding of First Nation, Métis, and Inuit cultures, histories, and experiences. This alignment suggests a shared awareness of both system commitment and professional learning opportunities, pointing to a strong foundation while continuing to build staff confidence and depth of understanding over time. This chart depicts how staff experience engagement and collaboration within their workplace, and the results show strength across this area. Agreement is particularly high in staff seeing themselves as active contributors to their teams, with nearly 98% indicating strong personal engagement and over 93% recognizing effective teamwork more broadly. There is also agreement just above 90% that staff have opportunities to share their opinions and concerns. The most notable difference appears in perceptions of voice in decision-making, where agreement is at about 86%. Though, this still remains positive overall. These results point to an engaged workforce with strong team dynamics, while highlighting an opportunity for the division to continue strengthening staff voice in decision-making processes. When it comes to information and resources, this graph reflects how well staff are supported with the information and resources they need to work effectively, and the results, again, are consistent across all areas. Agreement is highest around the awareness of occupational health and safety procedures and access to necessary information to do their work, both in the mid to high 90% range. It indicates a strong communication and clarity. There is also solid alignment, above 90%, in staff engaging with division communications and understanding key priorities such as the division plan for continuous growth. The most notable difference appears in perceptions of having everything needed to do their job within the current resource limits, which still is positive at just under 90%. This theme reflects staff experiences with professional learning and continuous improvement, and the results point to a strong culture of growth across the division. Agreement is at about 96% in expectations for staff to participate in learning opportunities, with over 92% also recognizing a focus on evidence-based improvement. There is a divergence in the perceived usefulness of professional learning, with school-based opportunities at about 88% and division-provided opportunities at roughly 82%. However, feedback from supervisors is viewed positively at just under 90%, reinforcing support for ongoing development. This item, titled Facilities, reflects staff perceptions of the physical work environment, and the results, again, are strong at just over 91% of staff agreeing that their school or site is safe and well maintained, indicating a high level of confidence in the condition and safety of division facilities. And finally, we reach our overall satisfaction with Edmonton Catholic Schools. About 95% of staff have indicated that their own school or department is a good place to work, with similarly high agreement, just under 94% at the division level. Across all themes, the results reflect a strong and consistent story of performance, with agreement levels remaining high across all areas. Staff report positively on their experiences of faith, wellness, inclusion, engagement, professional growth, with many of the indicators ranging between 90 to 98% agreement. This level of alignment suggests that core priorities are not only clearly understood, but are being experienced in meaningful ways across schools and departments. While there are some areas with slightly lower agreement that point to opportunities for continuous growth, the overall picture is one of a highly engaged, supported, and committed workforce. And with that, I will turn it back to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you, Superintendent Fien, and your division monitoring team who pulled this together and highlighted that despite some of the factors and challenges that could have impacted our results, that they are indeed still strong, and we're really, really proud of that. So our recommendation, Madam Chair, is that based on the evidence provided in the ECSD Systems Excellence Survey Results Report 2025-2026, the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12 Appendix B relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 1.1, 1.3, 5.6, 8.1, and 10.3.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, Superintendent Fien, Supervisor Harris, and of course the entire division monitoring team for this extraordinary report, which confirms that not only is ECSD I'm going to say a positive, extraordinary, incredible place to work, but it confirms the recognition that this is precisely the reason why Edmonton Catholic continues to be named a top employer. 11 consecutive years and counting, if I should say so myself. Yeah. And we're delighted to celebrate the outstanding efforts of our staff across the division, because these results highlight continued excellence across many top performing themes, and that despite the disruptions this year, which you've referenced, it was impressive that 95% of our staff indicated that their school or department is a good place to work, and that 93.7% of staff believe the division is a good place to work, and that 94.4% deem it as that's the overall satisfaction. And with Catholic identity being one of the top performing themes, being rated at 97.1%, I say that we should, and if Trustee Ingle could speak here, she would take us all out for ice cream. These positive outcomes are not only a testament testament to our staff's dedication and commitment, but also they provide valuable insights to ensure that our staff truly feel supported, valued, and empowered to serve the students, staff, and families of Catholic education. And we take such great pride in that. Thank you. And as this is a recommendation, I do recognize Trustee Mutala in queue. I will turn it to you, Trustee Mutala, to please make this motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that based on the evidence provided in the ECSD Systems Excellent Survey Results Report 2025-2026, the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 1.1, 1.3, 5.5, 8.1, and 10.3.
Thank you very much. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
Yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to Chief Superintendent Anderson, Superintendent Fian, Supervisor Harris, and all the team on presenting this report to us. And when you look at it, like Chair Palazzo said, it's amazing, even with a disruptive year, we've had high rates of agreements in all areas of our staff, providing outcomes measures necessary for division assurance, information for setting priorities, identifying areas of growth, and recognize areas of strength. And with all our overall satisfaction, when you look at it, over 95% saying their department is a good place to work, and over almost 94% saying that the division is an excellent place to work. And like she said, for the 11th year in a row, we have been named the top one of top Alberta's 85 employers. So thank you. Well done, everybody. Keep up the good work.
11 years, just saying.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And so I will open up queue to the rest of the board, and I do see Trustee Pellick in queue. So over to you, Trustee Pellick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just two questions. On the sixth slide for the staff engagement, it was 8.6 that staff had a voice into decisions that affected at their school. And I'm just wondering, was there any tangible examples of that, or is that just an overall theme?
Thank you very much. Yes, Madam Chair, through to Trustee Pellick. When it comes into staff engagement, some of the examples that come through is through the questions that are derived in order to come up with the overall number. And so when we take a look at what makes it up, that overall result, it's about their agreement that they contribute as a team member in their school, in their department. It's about the 93.3% that have indicated that they work as a team in their school and department, and then their opportunities to give voice and opinions and concerns, as well as their voice into decisions. And so when we're taking a look at the data, what we have is we have that dichotomous, I agree this has occurred, or I disagree. When it comes into specific examples, they would be anecdotal from our stewardship walkthroughs, superintendents that we're working through, and conversations that we are having with administrators and school staff as we move through. So when it does come into staff engagement, we can talk about different opportunities that staff have in order to contribute to, for instance, the establishment of their education plan in their schools, the involvement in school goals, and how that is going to be lived out throughout the school year next year, which is data informed and based and anchored on some of the division survey information that's been provided through the annual survey as well. So that would be one quick example as to what would contribute to staff agreeing in terms of organizational and staff engagement.
Thank you, and I do have a follow-up. On slide 7, the 88.8, the last indicated that they're provided with what they need to do their jobs, given the limits on division resources. And so again, there, I'm assuming your question will be, or your answer will be very similar to my previous question. And so I guess, was that stronger in some schools than in others? Like, do we have the haves and have-nots, or is it, do you know what I kind of mean by that? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Madam Chair, through to Trustee Pellick. So yes, there's going to be variations across schools because what is presented here is, of course, the average of the entire division, inclusive of departments and our school sites. What we do with this data in order to make sure that we are identifying individual school needs is kind of threefold. One, we discuss it as a senior team in terms of, again, our stewardship groups, the conversations that we're having. So in case there's somebody that is, slightly below the division average, that we're able to engage with them and saying, what does this look like in your site? What are you looking at in order to improve? But in addition to this, everybody has the data that's been uploaded to the dashboards, so staff are able to look at it. It's transparent in that manner. And it's also uploaded and shared with principals so that they can use in effective planning and preparation for next year. Part of that is also where the school falls for the individual sites in comparison to the overall division data. And so it's when those things are kind of outlining that a school might be lagging slightly behind the division average that it does trigger these conversations so that we can help continue to maintain positive access to information and resources.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Trustee Pellick. And thank you very much to you once again, Chief Superintendent Anderson, to you, Superintendent Fian, and of course the entire team. And seeing no one else in queue, I will again echo the sentiments already shared that these results is another report that make us #ECSD proud. And when I read this report, all I could think about was what Chief Superintendent Anderson shared with the board, which is a question she often shares with her staff. What keeps you up at night? And I kept thinking about that as I was reading it, because it of course, by asking that question, you're actually looking to hear what people have to say, what her staff has to say. And so by listening to them and by capitalizing on the strengths that they're currently experiencing as positive, and yet continuing to examine areas for improvement, it continues to foster the excellence that we take such pride in Edmonton Catholic. And, when I see the high percentage that's being reflected here today, I'm wondering, how can we do any better? And yet, we always do. And so obviously whatever's being done out there is we're doing it right. So commendations to all of you for supporting one another and for always ensuring that you take great pride in the division that we work for. Thank you. That being said, I will turn it back to you, Trustee Mutala, should you wish to close your motion at this time.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. And so we will now call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record that the motion is carried. We will now proceed to 3.3, Truth and Reconciliation Report, and back over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much. Edmonton Catholic Schools' response to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission calls to action has been part of a broader and continuing journey, one grounded in relationships, guided by Indigenous voices, and built upon years of intentional work towards reconciliation. Today we have Superintendent Nacarado and his team who will share highlights of the great work accomplished this year. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, Madam Chair, trustees. Honored to be joined today by Director Santos Saporito, Manager Pam Sparkling Eyes, Consultant Tess Cosi, and Consultant Preston Huppy, and various other members of the team that are just very proud to be here and supporting us. As has been noted by Chief Superintendent Anderson, the release of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls to action represented an important national milestone in advancing reconciliation across Canada. For the Edmonton Catholic School Division, however, this work did not begin with the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Rather, the calls to action affirmed and strengthened a long-standing commitment to supporting Indigenous peoples, building meaningful relationships, and fostering greater understanding of the truth surrounding Canada's historical treatment of Indigenous communities. ECSD's response to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls to action has been part of a broader and continuing journey, one grounded in relationships, guided by Indigenous voices, and built upon years of intentional work toward reconciliation. This work directly addresses Edmonton Catholic School Division's Goal 1. Students, staff, and educational and community partners will work together for our common good. build the capacity of students and staff to advance the truth and reconciliation calls to action in schools and beyond by building foundational knowledge of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit experiences. Now, I know that you've all had a chance to see the extensive report, and now with some of the highlights, it's my honor to introduce Tess Kosey, who's just been a tremendous, valuable, brand new asset to not only our department, but to Edmonton Catholic Schools. Welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Hi. Tansei, hello. Nitsiga Sun, Teskasi, Ochinia, Chipman, Alberta, Treaty 6 territory. I am the Truth and Reconciliation Consultant for Indigenous Learning Services. I am grateful to aid in the making of the accountability report this year and present just a few of our celebrations for this board report. Part of my work this year was to guide our lead teachers in all 96 of our schools to build capacity of students and staff to advance the Truth and Reconciliation Commission calls to action in schools and beyond by building foundational knowledge of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit experiences. We have provided a lot of professional development for teachers this year, and we asked if anybody would like to provide back some impact statements, so I will read one for you right now. Tess, Pam, Preston, Shannon, Danita, and the whole Indigenous Learning Services family at ECSD have had an immense impact on shaping and nurturing my understanding of our Indigenous people's history, stories, and TRC calls to action. Each session is rooted in relationship building, truth, understanding, and action. I felt welcome and a part of the Indigenous learning family at ECSD. Sessions presented to educators are meant to engage and invite ideas. Teachers are not viewed as passive observers, but instead are empowered by our consultants to work together and grow in knowledge to help our students, their families, teachers, and schools. I look forward to continuing my journey with Indigenous Learning Services family. I'm grateful to them for sharing their knowledge, hope, and making me feel a part of something special. So this year I did have the privilege of going to around 31 schools as part of my initiative to meet and build a relationship with principals and teachers and students. And so being my first year, I'm very proud that I have got to meet quite a few people and students. One of the contests that was sent through our weekly update emails that I send out is student leadership and voice. So we had a teacher, Marina Castro, grade 5 at St. Philip, and one of her students, Mary Big Charles, was an honoree winning an award for her artwork. And this is what it was about. Students were invited to envision a reconciled Canada through their eyes. Mary's artwork centers on the ongoing healing of Indigenous peoples with a striking image of a hand reaching out to all Indigenous peoples, a symbol of reconciliation, support, and collective responsibility in moving forward. So with her time, we've been helping with the gathering circles, creating a safe space for some of these young students, and for her to take the initiative to say, I want to do this art project and then win. She was able to take her father to Winnipeg. We gave her some Indigenous Learning Services swag, t-shirts. I get like a little bracelet so that she could wear, and I saw that she wore it in Winnipeg when they sent me back some pictures, and I put it on the Instagram page. One of our indicators for achievement of success is how is our engagement in the classrooms actually coming to fruition. Here are some examples of classroom land acknowledgements, which I am quite impressed with. So Preston and I, we've been doing a lot of treaty PDs, land acknowledgement PDs as kind of a first step with some of our teachers. And then they can go back and teach their students land acknowledgements and create their own land acknowledgements. And so this one, I'll just read the one to the left. It's from a grade 5. It's actually quite exceptional. We acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 land, the traditional land of the Cree, Dene, Nakota Sioux, Saulteaux, and the homeland of the Métis. We are grateful to love, dream, play, learn, explore, and live on Treaty 6 land. We are thankful for the sacred medicines, tobacco, sage, cedar, and sweetgrass, the swimming fish, the dancing aurora borealis, the fresh air, the buzzing bees, animals, and the beat of beautiful Indigenous songs. We promise to be respectful and take care of the land by recycling, planting trees, keeping animals wild, listening to and learning from Indigenous peoples, and being peacemakers now and for future generations. So I'm just so impressed by that grade 5 student. And of course, all the other ones. We've had lesson plans all the way from K to 12 to tell our teachers that it doesn't matter what age they are in. If they're in kindergarten, maybe they're singing a song with some actions. Grade 1, maybe they're talking about a story of who they are and where are they from, and going all the way up to creating some more in-depth personal land acknowledgements. We have had a lot of celebrations and student recognitions this year, but I just wanted to show you guys a few. We've hosted family nights where we've had Indigenous games. We've had treaty PDs as foundational knowledge. We've had a teepee that's set up in some of the schools, and Gary's been there to do some pole teachings. We have a teepee set up here right in Lumen Christi building that you will see when you walk in. We've had the red dress celebrations. We've had students write to the Right and Honorable Mark Carney on Bear Witness Day to talk about Jordan's principal, and they sent that to him. And so we just love sharing these student stories. We love inviting families and elders and spotlighting accomplishments to strengthen belonging and community ties. So obviously June is a very special month. It's National Indigenous History Month, and we have worked very hard with communications to build a district website to aid in daily classroom routines with short linked 3 to 5 minute videos for National Indigenous Peoples Month. And the purpose behind this is that all the classes in ECSD can click and they can watch a short 3 to 5 minute video every day of the week for 15 weeks until the end of June. And then if they'd like to do any extension activities, then we have links for extension activities, whether it's on the SharePoint, whether it's on the ECSD quick link. We have a lot of activities that they can do for this month. And we've been going in there and helping as well. This is the flyer or the poster that we've created with communications. And you can see there's the treaty medallion at the top. There's the Saskatchewan River that runs through it, Red River carts, and teepees. We've had Preston do a lot of PD on Edmonton histories and getting to know where we are in Edmonton and the history behind it, the settlements, the river lots, Papa Chase, which is now Enoch. So we put a map up there, which we're very proud of. So, and it's also celebrating 30 years this year for National Indigenous People Day. So very exciting. And if John could just click on the National Indigenous Peoples Month virtual calendar, I just want to show you the actual interactive site. So if you go to the 5th slide on June 5th, day 5, we did this with my cousin, don't play it yet, but we did this with my cousin Louise Dumays, and we set up a teepee outside, and she spoke in Cree, and then we have English subtitles, and she talked about the pole teachings and how it's very, very significant to us Indigenous peoples, and we'll just like to show you what we created with communications, of course. Go ahead. The teepee's more than a shelter, it's a place of learning. I'll just read that little bit there.
Peyak, kitay tuan. Kitay ta ukawi mawaski. Osam ekuta.
We just have to go back, John. I think something's not working.
Niso, nanahitamuan.
Did you need to go back?
Nixnomaku. Usanan at tayo ka na. Nintutuwanan, unikikwak, apu wakutuna.
If I could just interrupt for 1 second. Tess is hoping to go back. Thank you.
Just at the beginning.
At the beginning, please. Thank you.
Thank you. So here's the Cree teepee values and how each pole represents a value. You'll hear Louise speaking right away.
Peyak, kitaytuan. Kitayta ukawi mawaski. Osam elkuta pugo ewikia. Niso, nanahitamuan. Niksnoma kusanan atayokana. Nintotowanan unikikwak apu wakutuna. Ksnamawaganak egwa ukiskinohamagewa. Nisto, tapatemsun. Kita kisketamak ekipe usikawiak eukutse kita manatsiak. Namoyawikats ke temsoyak awiak apu kita tapatemsoyak. Tapatemsun nanahitamuan. Kitaytuan. Newo wakutuan. Kiwakutano kakio. Kiano nehiwak mana. Kinagate mananak kiwakumakananak. Nianan. Nanaskamuan. Ninanaskamun ukawi mawaski egwa kakio kamikoyak. Nakutwasik sagituan. Sagituan kita miutwayak egwa kita miututawayakik. Kutakak ay sinwak astse kistanaw. Tepogop witituan. Witituan utito iwitisoyan. Osam kiwiwitihano metane ntuemewak. Ewitikono kantuemeyak. Witihewak kutakak ay sinwak. Wawisange kakitamaksitik. Sugeitam kagi witituan. Egwa kitastepayin. Kipematis sinawaw. Kiano isitigana wakutuan. Miwatamo kitwamaski. Uma miwatatamuan. Kegamitatat kanatemuan. Mamuwe ukawi mau. Peksu kiti utito. Tigeitakwan miu pematihuan. Kayas kiteyak. Kamamskutagik kanatsuan. Atagwe kanatsuan. Mitatat. Tapuwagitamuan. Tapuwagita eetakot kiseimantu. Kakiokigwe eusitat. Tatapuetak kitse sukatisuan. Awiakute kistanaw. Ksnatapuetak egwa mamasitu tamaiswak. Peyakusap sukatisuan anama. Emistagitek usam kispin namoya euku kitayan. Namoya anhe kutaka kekaskitan. Kwes kita pemutataman. Kakio miukusano pematisuan. Usam ekuiko kisukatisano ka pematisi-kamak. Nisosap pagsemuan. Kaya wikats pune pauksemo. Kiamata ete tamane kakiaukikwe. Epunpaik kutawino. Ana kisawem kono mamatausit. Nistosap. Miu upikahawasuan. Awasisak ute emi kusiak ukawimau. Kigi kitei tamawano. Utayat siwa. Mantuat tisuan. Itamatihuan. Waskawiwan. Inisuan. You can see the outline of a woman in the yellow on this final picture. The bottom of the teepee is the skirt. The two flaps represent her arms, and the top of the teepee with all the poles is her head. This clearly outlines a woman with a skirt and is raising her arms to the sky to thank Creator for the lodge she's given and to share all these teachings with those in the lodge. Acceptama.
Thank you. You can go back to the slides now, please.
Nehio mi.
So as it is a women's lodge, there are some slides underneath that slide, and it just goes into a little bit more detail where I start asking her questions, and she talks about, why the door faces the east, just because that's where the sun rises, and why we brought the rope from the outside to the inside, because it represents the umbilical cord, and you have to secure it to the ground. So that is where, as women, we give life, and in the middle of the teepee, the umbilical cord always has to be in there. So that's just some cultural significance that maybe many of you may not know, and it's a pleasure to share and make these videos for, everyone to see. In conclusion, we are committed to collective action. We're here to support our students, staff, and partners working together to advance the calls to action. We are investing in learning, celebrating voices, and adopting practical routines that make reconciliation visible and sustained across our district. Kananaskamin. Thank you. Hi. I'm now done. I'll send it back to Superintendent Nacarado.
Well done, Tess. Much appreciated. In turn, I'll turn it back to Chief Superintendent Anderson for the recommendations, please.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Nacarado, Director Saporito, Managers Sparking Lies, and Consultants Tess and Preston, and the entire ILS team. It's incredible. This calendar this year has been wonderful. I've been talking a lot about it with individuals that I'm meeting, because it's so exciting to have those again, just the teachings and to build that understanding. So thank you so much in supporting students, staff, schools, communities, in deepening their knowledge and understanding Indigenous histories, perspectives, and ways of knowing. So thank you for your dedication and your leadership. So, Madam Chair, at this time, I'll read the recommendation that, based on the evidence provided in the June Accountability Report 2025-2026, the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 2.1, 3.1, 3.2, and 5.3.
Tansei. Chief Superintendent Anderson, Superintendent Nacarado, and the entire team. And as you are so well represented today, I'm just going to say our ECSD family and village for your efforts. But of course, to Consultant Tess Cosi for your passion today, your enthusiasm, your excellent presentation, and your amazing smile. Your incredible anecdotes that proudly highlights the dedication of students and staff in building understanding of First Nations, Métis, and the Inuit histories, cultures, and contributions to Canadian society. I especially love the video. I'm a visual learner, and it truly reinforces. Now, when I say I'm a visual learner, I would still need your help, because I could never do this on my own. But that being said, it really resonated. So it was quite beautiful. Keep creating the videos. And because it truly reinforces the importance of community, connections, and ECSD's emphasis in fostering meaningful learning and, of course, respectful relationships that are guided by Indigenous voices and a shared commitment to learning and reflection, which is truly, truly extraordinary. Hi to you. And that being said, I do see Trustee Tiber in queue, who I believe is ready to make this motion. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the board determines the quality indicators identified in this report have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, for the current evaluation period.
Thank you so much. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
I sure do. First of all, wow. I mean, I've never understood how a teepee was built, how they get it up like that, and I've never really understood the meaning behind it all. So first of all, thank you for that. That was so incredible to see and to hear and to learn about. And one of the things is we know that Truth and Reconciliation is not a month and it's not a report. It is something that's ongoing, and it's a commitment that requires us to keep learning, to ask questions so we can understand. This report is a summary of the meaningful work that we do in Edmonton Catholic Schools, that you do in Edmonton Catholic Schools. The student work that happens, the Orange Shirt Day ceremonies, the special land acknowledgements that are created in our schools, and even at the board level. And beyond the board level, actually. So it's quite incredible how we are able to really respect and try to honor what we live on. And it's incredible Braided Journeys program that makes our students feel just so welcomed. It's so nice to see, and whenever we're touring schools, we're able to go into classrooms that our students are just so excited and so welcomed. And, you know, even the board's participation when we are invited to the pipe ceremonies and to the grade 12 graduations, of Indigenous graduations, it is just some of the ways that we are committed to building a strong relationship within Edmonton Catholic Schools. And it's built on trust over time, and it reflects the kind of relationship that we are committed to building. It never happened overnight, and is something that we will continue to build on. And I want to acknowledge our Council of Elders for the guidance, and who, without, we could not do what we do. And I also want to thank you. You're incredible. You're amazing, and all your team and everything that you produce. It's just so intriguing and so interesting to know that things that we don't know, right? It's the stuff that we just don't know. And I also want to thank Chief Superintendent Anderson and Superintendent Joe Nacarado for your leadership and for bringing Indigenous learning services to life. And when we talk about reconciliation, it requires us to keep moving in the right direction. And it helps to keep us grounded in truth and to keep pushing Catholic education forward. And that's not easy, so thank you. There's one advocacy priority that the board is also focused on, and I think it's something we need to continue, and it's to reinstate the Jordan Principle funding from the government, and it's something that we will continue to build in order to support Edmonton Catholic students. So to our Council of Elders, our Indigenous students and families, our division is committed to you, and not just for the words, but in ongoing daily work that becomes a place where every child truly does belong. So thank you, and Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Trustee Chabert. Now, I did see that when you mentioned advocacy for Jordan's Principle, Superintendent Nacarado's eyes lit up, and I don't know if he gave one of these or not, but yeah, that's certainly on our radar as well, and something that we as a board will continue to do. So thank you for referencing that. Now, I will open up queue to the rest of the board and do recognize Trustee Fiorillo next, and we'll turn it over to you. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to say I'm really impressed by what was presented today, and I very much appreciate the specific examples that you shared in your report. That really helps to gain a deeper understanding of the incredible work that you guys are doing, so thank you for that. And I just wanted to share a quick another way of appreciation that I think is more than what my words are. There is a young student that came home after the Indigenous services team was out at her school, and every day when I ask her, oh, how was school? It's, oh, it was good, it was fine, it was good. And then on this particular day, she came home and said, Mom, it was great. And I was like, oh, why is that? We got to learn about Indigenous traditions today. And she went on and on about how incredible her day was. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all that you do for our students, because it really has an impact. Thanks.
Why is it that when it comes from a mother, it sounds so much better? Yeah, no, thank you. Those were beautiful words indeed. But one thing I learned as well, I'm just going to throw that in there, is that and I apologize because I'm learning as well, but in the last week alone, I have heard more personal land acknowledgements being shared. I didn't even realize it was a thing. I didn't realize that you could actually write your personal land acknowledgement and that it was okay. So anyway, yeah, kudos to all of you for sharing that. Okay, so see, there you go. But it was interesting because 3 different events and 3 different personal land acknowledgements, and I'm going, wow, that's how I felt too. And now, of course, I'm trying to get really creative. So I want to really wow all of you someday, one day, but who knows when that'll be. That being said, I do see Vice Chair Tuchanski next in queue, and we'll turn it over to you. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. I think if you give credit where credit is due, you can sneak that little one there from our presentation today. It's
that was
pretty
her personal.
extraordinary.
That's what she's really trying to tell you. Yeah.
No, with a little kiddo one. So thank you. When you read through this report, you quickly realize truth and reconciliation, of course, is multifaceted. It's a result of countless hours of listening, learning, building relationships, and walking alongside each other with humility and respect. The work being done is extraordinary. From our Indigenous Learning Services team, Council of Elders, Knowledge Keepers, consultants, lead teachers, Braided Journeys staff, 4 Directions wellness leaders, administrators, and classroom teachers, There are just so many people contributing to this important journey. And what's remarkable is this isn't being done because we have to do it. It's being done because we believe it is the right thing to do. And we are committed to ensuring that Indigenous voices, histories, and cultures, ways of knowing are honored, respected, and woven into the lives of our schools in meaningful and authentic ways. Much like being Catholic, it is woven throughout the entire day. So what fills me with hope is seeing the impact, though, that this work is having on both Indigenous and non-Indigenous students across our division. And of course, one of my favorite events to attend is the honoring ceremony. And it is remarkable to see all of the proud students and families that come to celebrate the fabulous day. So please, don't ever stop inviting us. But I am curious, how often are we asked to collaborate or share our knowledge and resources with other divisions or others across the provinces?
Madam Chair, through to Trustee Tuchansky, about every 30, 45 seconds.
Perfect.
That might not even be an exaggeration.
Yeah, perfect. I'm not surprised. It's pretty remarkable, and at every turn we take, it's fantastic. So, okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, no, excellent question and true response. So thank you very much for your honesty. I'm seeing no other. Oh no, I do. Okay, just in closing, thank you very much. And so I was going to turn it over to you. Seeing no one else in queue, I will turn it to Trustee DeBear for closing remarks. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So no surprise that our students, 93.6% of our students, 97.4% of our parents, 96.8% of our teachers are satisfied. And the previous motion on our excellence ranks the First Nation, Métis, and Inuit foundational knowledge at 93.9%. So reconciliation, it's not finished after we pass this motion. And it continues in every classroom, every gathering circle, every land acknowledgement, every time our Indigenous students walk into one of our schools and feel that they belong there. And just like my colleagues, I am very proud that we serve a division that understands this work is never done. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee DeBear. And so that being said, we will now call the vote. Thank you so much. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record that the motion has passed. Thank you so much, and hi. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Oh, and it's only Wednesday. No, sorry. You have 2 more days to go. Thank you. And this now takes us to 4.1 Board Chair Report, and I'm going to read it really fast. Okay, as another school year draws to a close, as we trustees find ourselves reflecting on the many moments that have defined this year across Edmonton Catholic schools, from the excitement of the first day of school to the celebrations of graduation and year-end events, this has been a year marked by growth, learning, faith, and community. Every day, the board has the privilege of witnessing the impact of Catholic education, as we've heard here today, through our students' achievements, talents, and acts of service. They remind us of the importance of the work we do together to support them. June provided many opportunities to celebrate our shared community, including significant school milestones inspiring all-city choir and band performances, and Indigenous History Month. Together, these moments highlighted the strength of our Catholic learning, community, and our commitment to ensuring every student feels welcomed, valued, and connected. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to the parents and guardians who entrust us with their children each day. Your partnership, encouragement, and involvement are essential to student success, and we are grateful for the role that you play in fostering strong school communities. We would also like to recognize our staff for their unwavering dedication and commitment. Our teachers, educational assistants, support staff, school leaders, and central services teams work tirelessly to create welcoming, faith-filled environments where students can learn, grow, and thrive. Your care, professionalism, and commitment to Catholic education make a lasting difference in the lives of students and families. As we celebrate the achievements of this year, we also look ahead with hope. and anticipation for the opportunities that await us in the coming school year. Don't forget, very soon we're going to be sitting here. Welcome to the first public board meeting of the year. Together we continue to build vibrant Catholic learning communities where every student is known, valued, and inspired to reach their God-given potential. As summer begins, we hope you find time to rest, recharge, and enjoy meaningful moments with family and friends. May the weeks ahead bring renewal, joy, and many opportunities to create lasting memories. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we wish all of our students, our families, staff, and community partners a safe, happy, and blessed summer. And as this is not a motion, I'm proud to read the recommendation for the record that the Board of Trustees acknowledges receipt of the June 2026 Board Chair Report on hashtag ECSD Faith Inspires for information purposes. And next is 4.2 Chief Superintendent's Report, and over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So as the school year comes to a close, I just wanted to highlight a few of the happenings in the division. June has been a very busy month and just excited with everything that's been happening. So even just as yesterday and prior to that, 1 week prior, we had 2 site blessings for 2 of our new schools, St. Genevieve and St. Patrick Catholic Elementary Schools. And K-9. And this time-honored tradition sees us pray for those who will build our new school communities, both literally and figuratively. Under Learning Excellence, I wanted to highlight that we had several events, and I know that you attended many of them. The Metro Athletics Unified Jamboree, the ECSD Hockey Showcase, we had our All-City Spring Concert, and also the high school anthology that just occurred on Sunday. And just want to acknowledge the staff that makes these events happen and just to celebrate the opportunities that we provide our students. Another one that we're happy to highlight is also the ETS Why Wait rail safety campaign for students in grade 7 to 12 at Louis Saint Laurent who were part of creating some original artwork. And it encourages pedestrians to stop, wait, and pay attention to LRT crossing. So even extending into our community, we have students just highlighting some of their talents. And finally, under Embracing Diversity, we had a video that was shared on creating communities of belonging, and it just emphasizes every student and staff member being welcomed and valued. And so before I read the recommendation, I just want to take a moment on behalf of the division to thank the Board of Trustees for your deep commitment, care, and dedication to serving our staff, students, and their families. Your advocacy this year was impactful as we continue to see more schools and student spaces and increased funding to address our class sizes and complexity and to address some of our needs. So thank you on behalf of the division for all your support. And so the recommendation is that the Board of Trustees acknowledges receipt of the Chief Superintendent's Report on hashtag ECSD Faith Inspires June 2026 for information purposes.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson. So you mentioned in your report that this year is one marked by great hope. Judging by the length of your June report, you have also been exceptionally busy. And we hope you are also looking forward to a well-deserved break in the weeks ahead. Your ongoing commitment to ensuring our division's growth and excellence is commendable. We're pleased to recognize your strong leadership and the positive the many positive updates, I should say, shared in your report, which clearly reflect our division's priorities and strategic direction. Your continued efforts to foster a culture of trust, support, and collaboration are greatly valued. And we also extend our sincere appreciation to the senior leadership team and to all our staff, our division's greatest strength, for their unwavering commitment to student success. Through your dedication, the pillars of faith, excellence in learning, strong organizational practices, and embracing diversity continue to make a meaningful and lasting impact across our communities. Thank you for your leadership and for your continued dedication and commitment to the families, students, and staff and educational partners that we take great pride in serving. And as this is not a motion, I'm proud to read the recommendation for the record that the Board of Trustees acknowledges receipt of the Chief Superintendent's Report on hashtag ECSD Faith Inspires June 2026 for information purposes. And this now takes us to 5.1, closing prayer, and I ask that we please put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, creator of all, as we come to the close of another school year, we pause to give you thanks for the many blessings you have bestowed upon our students, staff, families, and communities. Thank you for the learning, growth, challenges, and accomplishments that have shaped us throughout the year. We thank you for the gift of summer, the warmth of the sun, the beauty of your creation, and the longer days that invite us to rest, renew, and spend time with family and friends. May this season provide opportunities for refreshment, recreation, and gratitude for the world you have made. Draw us closer to you during these summer months. Teach us to recognize your presence in moments of quiet reflection, joyful gatherings, and the beauty that surrounds us. Warm our hearts with your love, guide our steps with your wisdom, and enlighten us through your word. As we enjoy the gifts of summer, create in us clean hearts, renewed spirits, and a deeper hunger and thirst for you. Keep our students, families, and staff safe in all their travels and activities, and bring us back together refreshed and ready to continue the work you have called us to do. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And last on the agenda is 5.2, and we are looking for a motion to adjourn and recognize Vice Chair Trzaskowski in queue to please make this motion.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I move that we adjourn this last meeting.
Thank you very much. And seeing no one else, do you wish to speak to your motion?
I sure do not.
Okay. And so seeing no one else in queue, we will now call the vote.
I should speak for hours.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record the motion to adjourn is carried. Thank you all again for joining us this afternoon. And for those of you who will not be joining us for our organizational meeting in about 10 minutes, we wish you a wonderful evening and a blessed, safe, and joyous, well-deserved summer. So that being said, we are going to take a 10-minute break to set up for our next meeting, and we will reconvene at, it's 4:39. We're going to say 4:49. Thank you very much.